James and Sandra bought identical houses on the same street in 2010. Same purchase price, $320,000. Same down payment, $64,000. Same mortgage rate, 4.5%. Same monthly payment, $1,216. Every month for 15 years, James paid an extra $800 toward his principal. His goal? Own the house free and clear before retirement. Sandra took that same $800 every month and put it in an S&P 500 index fund. Her goal? Let the market do the work. In 2025, James owns his house outright. Sandra still has a mortgage. And Sandra has $312,000 more in net wealth than James. This is the investing versus mortgage debate. And the answer is not what most people's instincts tell them. But here is what makes this genuinely complicated. Sandra's advantage disappears under 3 specific conditions. And at least one of those conditions applies to almost everyone watching this video. Here is why Sandra won, on paper. James's extra $800 per month reduced his mortgage principal. Every dollar he paid early saved him 4.5% in interest, his mortgage rate. Over 15 years, he saved approximately $47,000 in interest and eliminated his 1,216 monthly payment years ahead of schedule. Sandra's $800 per month went into an index fund earning an average of 10.5% annually, the historical average of the S&P 500 since 1990. Over 15 years at that return, $800 per month grows to approximately $359,000. The comparison: James saved $47,000 in guaranteed interest. Sandra accumulated $359,000 in invested wealth. The difference? $312,000 in Sandra's favor. When your mortgage rate is below your expected investment return, investing wins mathematically, every time, by a significant margin. This is why every financial calculator, every personal finance article, and every advisor who runs the numbers comes to the same conclusion. If your mortgage rate is below 7%, investing the extra payment almost always produces more wealth than paying down the mortgage. The math is not close. It has not been close for most of the past 30 years. So, why does anyone pay down their mortgage early? 3 reasons, and each one is legitimate. Condition 1. Your mortgage rate is at or above 7%. The math flips when your mortgage rate approaches your expected investment return. At 7.5% mortgage rate, paying down the mortgage is a guaranteed 7.5% return. The S&P 500 averages 10%, but with significant variance, down 38% in 2008, down 19% in 2022. A guaranteed 7.5% versus an uncertain 10% is a real trade-off worth making for many investors, especially those within 10 years of retirement. If you refinanced in 2021 or 2021 at 3% or 3.5%, pay the minimum and invest everything else. If you bought in 2023 or 2024 at 7% or above, the calculation is genuinely close, and your risk tolerance and time horizon should decide it. Condition 2. You cannot stay invested through a crash. Sandra's $359,000 assumes she held through 2020, through the rate shock drawdown of 2022, through every dip without selling. Most investors do not do this. Research consistently shows that average investor returns significantly underperform index returns because people sell at the bottom and buy at the top. If Sandra had sold in March 2020, when her account was down 34%, and her $800 monthly deposits felt like throwing money into a hole, her realized return drops dramatically. The mathematical advantage of investing over mortgage paydown exists only for investors who can hold without flinching. If that is not you, the guaranteed return of mortgage paydown is worth more than the theoretical return of the market. Condition 3. The mortgage payment causes real financial stress. This is the condition nobody puts in the spreadsheet. If the mortgage payment is a source of genuine anxiety, if eliminating it would change how you sleep, how you work, how you make decisions. The psychological value of owning your home free and clear is real and significant. Behavioral economists call this risk tolerance, but it is more specific than that. A paid-off house changes your minimum viable monthly budget. It changes how much you need to retire. It changes your options if you lose a job, face a health crisis, or want to work part-time. These are not irrational considerations. They are legitimate financial factors that a pure return calculation ignores. James does not have $312,000 more in investment wealth, but he has a paid-off house, 0 monthly housing payment, and a retirement minimum that is $1,316 per month lower than Sandra's. Over a 25-year retirement, that flexibility has real value, one that a spreadsheet never captures. Subscribe. The answer for your specific situation comes down to one number, and I will show you how to calculate it. Not a financial advisor. Everything here is research and analysis, not personalized advice. Investment returns are historical averages and not guaranteed. Please consult a qualified financial advisor before making any decisions about your mortgage or investment strategy. Now let's continue. Here is how to make the decision for your situation. 1 number, your mortgage rate versus 7%. Below 7%. Invest the extra payment. The math is clear and the historical return advantage is substantial. Put the money in a low-cost index fund, automate it, and do not touch it. Above 7%, it depends on your risk tolerance and time horizon. If you are more than 15 years from retirement and can stay invested through volatility, still lean toward investing. If you are within 10 years of retirement or you know from experience that you sell during crashes, mortgage paydown is a reasonable choice. At 6 to 7%, genuine toss-up. At this range, the right answer is whichever one you will actually stick to. An investing strategy you abandon during a crash produces worse outcomes than a mortgage paydown strategy you maintain without anxiety. There is also a hybrid approach that outperforms both pure strategies for many people. Invest enough to capture the full employer match in your 401k. That is, a guaranteed 50% to 100% return that nothing else can match. Then split the remainder between investing and extra mortgage payment. The match is non-negotiable. Everything after it is a personal calculation. James and Sandra both made reasonable decisions. Sandra made the mathematically optimal choice for her risk tolerance and time horizon. James made the psychologically optimal choice for his. Neither of them made a mistake. The mistake is choosing without running the number. Taking the conventional wisdom, pay off debt, or always invest, without checking whether it applies to your mortgage rate, your timeline, and your honest assessment of how you behave when markets drop. Your mortgage rate versus 7%. Run that comparison. Then make the decision once, automate it, and stop second-guessing it every time the market moves. Tell me in the comments, what is your mortgage rate, and has it changed how you think about extra payments versus investing? I read every single one. Subscribe. Next week, we are mapping your life at every level of savings from $0 to $3 million year by year, level by level, with the psychological shift that happens at each threshold. After today's math, that map is the next step.